What's going on, everybody? RJ Ochoa here from SB Nation's bloggingtheboys.com. Hope all is well wherever you are. We hope you're happy, safe, healthy, and I know that you're upset because the Philadelphia Eagles won the NFC on Sunday afternoon and are headed to Super Bowl 57. We are obviously rooting for whatever AFC team wins the AFC Championship game. I actually have the AFC Championship game on right behind you. At the moment, it is 6-0 Chiefs with a little bit over 10 minutes left in, the first quarter here, second quarter here? I don't even know at this point in time. 10 minutes left, 10 minutes, 51 seconds left in the second quarter. So about 11 minutes to go before halftime. But why am I here if the AFC Championship game isn't even over? That's because right as the AFC Championship game came out, or right as the AFC Championship game started, I'm all over the place here. It was reported by the Dallas Morning News that Kellen Moore is out as the offensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys. And the fact that this news came out on this particular Sunday is really interesting. Again, not even an hour in real time after the Eagles won the NFC, the Cowboys announced that they are moving on from their offensive coordinator, the same OC who, when Dak Prescott was under center, orchestrated one of the best, one of the most prolific, one of the most efficient offenses in the NFL. Now, that is true. The Cowboys have been an amazing offense in this league, obviously with Dak Prescott and Kellen Moore operating as a pair for the last 4 years. I've said this on many of our shows and many of our videos here on the Blog on the Boys YouTube channel. Make sure you do subscribe, please, by the way. But there have been flaws, right? There have been inconsistencies, and that has obviously been kind of the cry of a lot of people that have wanted to see the Cowboys move on from Kellen Moore. And the Cowboys took this past week after their season ended to kind of figure things out. They did not renew the contracts of 6 different staffers on Mike McCarthy's staff. Dan Quinn decided to return as defensive coordinator for a third year, and Mike McCarthy was a little bit coy when asked about Kellen Moore when he talked about everything in his season-ending press conference as the week ended. And so I think it's fair to say that there have been some inconsistencies. I don't think it's fair to say that Kellen Moore is trash, and hopefully you're somewhere in between. That's usually where the truth kind of winds up being. It does make sense that the Cowboys had to do something. They could not just run this back for the third year in a row. And by third year in a row, I mean this nucleus, McCarthy, Quinn, and Kellen. These are things that don't have to do with one another, right? The offense doesn't have anything to do with the defense, and so you can't necessarily lump everything together like that. But this was year 4 for Kellen Moore and the Cowboys offense, and we did not see all of the results that we needed to see. We're all upset. We're all pissed off that the Eagles are headed into the Super Bowl, right? They might win it. The Eagles might win their second Super Bowl in a span of 6 total seasons, and that would be very frustrating for all of us to experience as Dallas Cowboys fans. And so I understand it. I understand what the Cowboys are doing. In case you're wondering, well, Kellen Moore's out. What does that mean? Mike McCarthy, Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy, is going to call plays for the Cowboys in 2023, according to the report from the Dallas Morning News. And this is what makes it fine for me. This is what makes me excited about it. And I don't mean in the sense that McCarthy is going to be calling plays, because it's fair to doubt that. It's fair to wonder whether or not McCarthy is going to be a solid offensive play caller for the Cowboys. In case you do not remember, Mike McCarthy called plays for the majority of his time as the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. There was a brief window in 2015 where he gave those duties up to Tom Clements. He took them back, and he swore he would never give them up again. And then he became the Dallas Cowboys head coach, and he inherited Kellen Moore, right? And so it's fair to say, you know what, Mike McCarthy, you inherited this guy. You should be able to build the offense as you see it. But beyond that, beyond what is fair, if the Cowboys go the Mike McCarthy era, however long that winds up being, if they go that entire stretch of time and do not see the offense that he can yield, then they've really wasted all of this time. And maybe you believe that Mike McCarthy, the play caller, will not have any success. And I know that what I'm about to say is not going to make you feel better, but we have to know that. We have to have that proven. We have to figure that out. We have to know if the Cowboys are sitting here a year from now and are looking for a new head coach, they have to be able to do that knowing, you know what, we at least checked under that rock. We made sure that Mike McCarthy could not call plays offensively. I like that a lot. I like that you are going to finally see what your head coach, who made his way in the NFL on the offensive side of the ball, can do on the offensive side of the ball. We obviously wish Kellen Moore the best. For what it's worth, according to NFL Network, he has generated interest from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who obviously moved on from Byron Leftwich as their offensive coordinator after the Cowboys ended their season. We'll see if Tom Brady is back. That sure would be very interesting. If Kellen Moore, who is much younger than Tom Brady, if Kellen Moore was calling plays for him, obviously Brady could go elsewhere this offseason. But Kellen Moore is kind of the face for this, right? The report specifically did not mention the word fired. It's up to you if you want to call it that. It was deemed as a mutual parting of ways, according to the Dallas Morning News. But this is not just on Kellen. And it's hard for me to say this as a Dak Prescott supporter and a Dak Prescott truther, and it's really difficult to say this on the day that the Eagles and Jalen Hurts are headed to the Super Bowl. This is partly on Dak Prescott. If you're a franchise quarterback and your offensive coordinator is dismissed, fired, if they mutually part ways, whatever, you own some of that. That is partly your responsibility. So we can sit here and we can be upset with Kellen Moore for the way that things unfolded in San Francisco against the Niners and a very talented defense, but we should not put all of the blame on him. We should not sit here and say, you know what, it was all Kellen Moore. I'm fine with this decision. It makes sense. You can make logical sense out of what the Cowboys are doing here and moving on from Kellen and having Mike McCarthy call plays, but you cannot excuse Dak Prescott. You cannot excuse. I think the front office is catching a little bit too much heat in the aftermath of the season ending, but you cannot excuse the front office trading away Amari Cooper, and that's fine, but not supplementing that somehow, some way. They traded away Amari. Fine. Trade him away, Cowboys. That's up to you. But they did not get what they thought they would out of Michael Gallup. They did not get what they thought that they would out of James Washington, Jalen Tolbert. It took until T.Y. Hilton for somebody to give them quite literally positive EPA per play or EPA in general. It's just that's on them. So yes, today, this video, this moment, this whatever, this chapter of Dallas Cowboys history has Kellen Moore as the figurehead, but it is on a lot of people. A lot of people failed, and Kellen Moore, it would have been his 5th season, and I think it's fair to say you've seen enough, and it's fair to say, look, it's been efficient, it's been very successful, but it hasn't been enough. And so I understand where the Cowboys are coming from. Again, we wish Kellen Moore all the best. And I'm genuinely interested and excited to see Mike McCarthy do this and see if the Cowboys really did get the offensive, brilliant mind that Mike McCarthy was earlier in his career. And if they didn't, they'll have to hit the reset next year, and that will be frustrating, but at least they will know that. So the news of the day, Kellen Moore out as the offensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys. Mike McCarthy is going to call plays. It is very clear and it is very obvious that 2023 is going to be a critical season for serious members of the Dallas Cowboys organization. Mike McCarthy, obviously, that goes without saying. And Dak Prescott, we will see if the Cowboys restructure Dak Prescott's deal this offseason to alleviate some salary cap space. If they do that, they tie themselves to him more concretely throughout the 2024 season. And I don't want to play like pot stirrer, speculation, whatever, but if the Cowboys do not touch Dak Prescott's deal this offseason, that suggests, that implies that they are laying a path. They are laying or paving the path, the potential path. It all is potential to move on from him in 2024 if they see fit. And look, again, I say this as a Dak Prescott supporter. If he doesn't prove it to you in 2023, then you have to have that conversation. We're at that point. We're at an impasse. The water has to go out somewhere. And on Sunday, right after the NFC Championship was won, it went out the door with Kellen Moore. The Philadelphia Eagles are heading to the Super Bowl. We will see who wins the AFC Championship game. It's 6-3 now, Kansas City, as I record this, with 7 minutes and 47 seconds left. I don't know when you're catching this video. Is the YouTube algorithm has given it to you. Again, please do subscribe here so you get more of our videos. But in case you are seeing this sometime later on Sunday night or Monday morning or Tuesday, whatever the case, a few hours after I recorded this video, hasn't happened yet for me, but it will have been for you if I can understand time. Anyway, we're doing a live show on the Blog on the Boys YouTube channel on Sunday night after the AFC Championship game to talk about this, talk about the teams in the Super Bowl, talk about whatever else comes up. Obviously, there's a lot going on with the Cowboys, even though they're sitting at home this week, as opposed to earning a trip to the Super Bowl. My name is RJ Ochoa. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at RJ Ochoa, on TikTok at RJ.Ochoa. You can send me an email, rj.ochoa@sbnation.com, or you can leave me a comment, and we'll do our best to get to those here as well. Once again, please subscribe to the Blog on the Boys YouTube channel. We are on our way to 20,000 subscribers. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, Kellen Moore out. It's Mike McCarthy's show. That's the way it should be. It should be Mike McCarthy's show. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. We'll see you next time.